Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Fulfillment by Amazon webinar, where we'll be focusing on our send to Amazon process, specifically the shipment preparation requirements that you as a selling partner will need to follow in order to get your inbound inventory properly processed and available for purchase to your customers. However, before this, we will be doing a quick overview regarding the fulfillment channels offered other than FBA. Let's start with a quick introduction before we set sail. My name is Fazana Daud and I'm part of the FBA Operations Specialist team of South African Marketplace, and thank you for joining me today. Before we start, let's quickly go through some housekeeping rules for this session of ours. Firstly, please note that all participants are automatically muted. The cameras are turned off during the session. Our chat is moderated by experts on our fulfillment processes to answer any questions you might have. If you do miss something, a version of this webinar will be available for a limited time on Seller University, South Africa's YouTube channel. With that, we will be addressing the most trending questions during our QA section of the webinar slides. So let's get started. An overview of what we will be going through today. After today's session, you will be able to understand the other fulfillment options offered other than FBA. You will know what the send to Amazon process is, including send to Amazon, what fulfillment by Amazon actually is, understand the process of step 1 and step 3 in detail that involves choosing your inventory and shipment preparation. Lastly, we will have our Q&A session towards the end of the webinar. So before we move on to our available fulfillment channels, let's check on whether you are launch ready. So Amazon.co.za launched on the 7th of May 2024. The question is, what are the important things you need to know and be doing right now? Firstly, make sure you have your products 100% correctly listed with the intended price and product quantity. We cannot stress this enough, as if you cancel your orders due to the incorrect price, for example, you are putting yourself at risk for immediately having a poor account health and the risk of being suspended. Make 100% sure you fully understand how you chose your fulfillment method. If you chose our merchant fulfillment network, you are likely defaulted to EasyShip with a 1-day handling time. If you miss the window to fulfill your orders on time, your account health will be impacted and you risk account suspension. If you choose FBA and you do not know how to correctly send products to your assigned fulfillment center, then it will take you a while to have your products available for sale to your customers. Further to what I've mentioned, if you do not have your items listed with the quantity and price up to date, along with your product detail pages 100% ready, with all the needed product information and keywords completely sorted out, you will not have the competitive advance that you would want, as you would need to set yourself up for the best chance of success. Use the links with the PDF slide deck I have provided in our group chat for the PDF product detail page guide in Seller University. Also, the Amazon EasyShip overview, as well as the video on how to process Amazon EasyShip orders, will be found in the slide as well. Lastly, if you want to know more about account health, you can watch an overview video here as well. So now that you know you are ready for launch, let's move on to the different fulfillment methods that we offer. Okay, so in Amazon, there are 3 fulfillment options that you can choose from as a selling partner. And these are Fulfillment by Amazon, which is known as FBA, EasyShip, and Self-Ship. You can choose to use a combination of these 3 fulfillment methods as needed on factors such as the size of your business, your product type, your order volume, processing, and inventory. The 3 options would be Fulfillment by Amazon. You ship the item to one of our Amazon fulfillment centers where we will then do the rest for you to ensure your product arrives safely and in a timely manner to your customer's doorstep. The advantages of Fulfillment by Amazon is that we handle everything from packaging to shipping your products to the customer, giving you more time to work on expanding your own business. We will provide reliable, free, and fast delivery, which your customers will love and trust, ensuring that your customers keep returning. We also manage the returns and customer support so that you won't have to, and we provide a consistent experience using our world-renowned customer service, therefore eliminating the need of worrying about the processing of customer returns. Our next one is Easy Ship. This is a fulfillment option where you, as the selling partner, will store, pack your products yourself and drop off your packaged order to a designated drop off or pickup point within your assigned courier's network. Once we receive it, Amazon will deliver the order to the customer for you. The advantages of using Easy Ship is that you will have access to an Amazon-powered delivery service with a large geographical coverage, allowing the ability for a greater customer base to where you can deliver to. Your customers will be able to track their orders directly on their Amazon account. Lastly, we have Self-Ship. Self-Ship is an option where Amazon is simply used as a shopping interface where you will have to store, pick, pack, and deliver your products to your customer. You have your own warehouse but want more visibility to the customer. The advantages of Self-Ship include the visibility of getting your products listed and viewable by Amazon's large customer base, the flexibility to use your own delivery associate or courier services, and the option to set your own shipping price. So next up, let's move on to the features that each fulfillment method has. Have a look at the screen where you will see everything that is offered with the usage of FBA. We store, pack, ship, and handle the customer returns and customer service for you. The only thing you would need to work on is ensuring that you have inbounded stock for us to fulfill for you. With Easy Ship and Self-Ship, inbounding to an FC is not applicable at all. However, with Easy Ship, you would do the storing and packaging of the customer's orders yourself, where we will then deliver the order to the customer for you. You will also handle the customer service and customer returns yourself. With Self-Ship, you will do everything yourself, where Amazon will only serve as the shopping interface from where your customer orders from. With all that being said, definitely consider all the aspects of the fulfillment process that we can handle for you, depending on the fulfillment option you choose, to see how much time you will be able to invest into the growth and expansion of your company. So some food for thought as we move on to choosing the fulfillment option that works best for you and your business. So choosing which fulfillment model or service to use requires a clear and strategic evaluation process. You will need to identify the specific needs and objectives of your business to know the services and functionalities that will be required. You need to consider important factors such as scalability, integration capabilities into Amazon's fulfillment network, your overall budget, and pricing models. Refer to our Seller University ZA YouTube channel that has some videos which will further outline the fees that comes with the selection of one of the fulfillment methods. This will also provide further guidance on what fulfillment method will work best for you. Further to the above, please click the link as well within the PDF deck that I've provided in our group chat to be directed to our FBA fees help page, where you will also be able to make use of our revenue calculator as well for a breakdown of the fees that you can expect. Let's have a look at the potential conditions. Each fulfillment channel may be suitable for you based on your business needs. So with FBA, it will be applicable if you have high order volumes due to fast moving items and want better control over peak volume seasons. You'd also want to eliminate bottlenecks in your business capacities. For instance, during growth and expansion periods, when you want to reduce the limitations of cost that comes with human capital required. If you want to tap into the expertise and technology that Amazon offers. Lastly, when you will need to ship your orders or expand your customer base to further locations. With EasyShip, if you have your own warehouse for storage, however, don't have an existing delivery infrastructure to make use of. You will have more control and flexibility over your inventory, and you will have lower order volumes due to slow moving items that you will be able to easily manage. With what I've mentioned, the decision is in your hands regarding what you have identified for your business needs, where the option is there for you to use both FBA and EasyShip concurrently. Also note, don't panic if you don't see an EasyShip as a fulfillment option, as when you begin listing, it is automatically set by default. However, what is important is to fully utilize what our fulfillment channels have to offer. For example, if you want to go on vacation, change all your products to FBA and we will take care of your customers' orders with your inbounded inventory. And when you get back, you can take reins of your orders and you can switch back to EasyShip for all or just some of your items if you want to control the movement of your inventory. So I implore you to utilize our systems to accommodate your customers, your business, and yourself. With this overview out of the way, let's move on to today's main attraction, being FBA and the shipment preparation requirements that comes with sending in your inventory during our send to Amazon process. Okay, so what is FBA? FBA means Fulfillment by Amazon. It is a program that lets you send products to Amazon fulfillment centers where Amazon will then store your inventory, ship your orders, and handle your returns and customer service. After creating your catalog and getting your store launched, your next step is to define how shipments will be delivered to the customer. This can either be through Fulfillment by Amazon, naturally, EasyShip, or self-ship that we covered in the earlier slides. However, with selecting FBA, you will need to get your products ready and You will need to get your products ready and prepared for shipment to one of our fulfillment centers through using our send to Amazon process. So now you might be asking, what is the send to Amazon process? The send to Amazon process is a shipment creation workflow with a streamlined process aimed at replenishing your fulfillment by Amazon inventory whenever needed. The workflow consists of two components. The process which is completed on your Seller Central account where you virtually create shipments to send. And secondly, doing the physical preparations of your inventory so that it can be received at the fulfillment center in the correct condition. Both are equally and extremely important to ensure that your inventory is available for your customers as quickly as possible. With that, you will arrange your shipment, get them prepared and ready through following the send to Amazon process, and then ensure that you are able to get your shipments physically shipped to our fulfillment center using Carrier Central, which will all be found through following our send to Amazon process. The preparation of your products and shipments are of utmost importance before the appointment is created. This will ensure that no delays are present with us getting your inventory successfully processed and stowed in our fulfillment centers. And that is what we will be will be covering today in a bit more detail. Okay, so let's just do a quick recap of the steps you will be taking in the send to Amazon workflow so that you'll understand the focus of the webinar. The send to Amazon workflow consists of 6 steps. Step 1, choose inventory to send. Step 1B, pack individual units. Step 2, confirm the shipping. Step 3 is print box labels. Step 4 is confirm carrier and pallet information. Step 5 is schedule delivery to FC. And step 6 is to track your shipment. In this webinar, we will be focusing on the physical and virtual processes involved in step 1 and step 3 in the process. Choosing the inventory you wish to send is the first step towards fulfilling your Amazon orders efficiently and as perfectly as possible, especially if you will be sending in stock that is fragile or sharp. Once you have your inventory chosen and ready to start preparing your inventory to be sent to our fulfillment centers, it will be a crucial step to mastering this process, as this will streamline the fulfillment of your current and future shipments, help you save time, and ultimately enhance your customer satisfaction. Whether you're a seasoned seller or just starting out, this step is crucial for getting your products into Amazon's fulfillment centers and onto eager customers' doorsteps. Remember, resources and support are readily available, so don't hesitate to explore and ask questions using either our help pages or our seller support team. Okay, so let's begin with step number 1. Okay. Choosing the inventory to send. First, select the item you would like to send to the Amazon FC. From here, fill in the packaging details. Here you'll provide information on the ASINs in each box contained in your shipment. Providing accurate box content information can help reduce the risk of boxes being sidelined and make products available for sale more quickly. This is very important, as how you provide box content information will depend on whether boxes contain a single ASIN or multiple ASINs. Under packing details, you can choose 1 or 2 options. Create a new template and create new pack template. If you are packing multiple units of the same SKU in a shipping box or case packs, this is definitely best to do now in order to save time on future inventory replenishing you will be doing. Choose any name that will be a unique identifier for you to recognize in terms of your stock being sent. This is super important, especially if you will be creating multiple shipments. Or you can choose individual units. If you pack boxes that contain more than one SKU, which is mixed SKU boxes, or case packs that change from shipment to shipment. With either option chosen, you will be requested to define if the item needs prep and who will be required to do the prep via the information action or action section. Guidance will also be given at this point on how to prep the items for shipment and storage once you have defined the category of the items. Also, under the section Information or Action, select Print SKU labels to download the labels that you will need to paste on the units. If you are sending case packs via the section of Quantity to Send, input the number of boxes that will be sent in, then select Ready to Send. Based on the number of units per box you indicated in the previous packing details pop-up page, the amount of units will update as well. For example, if you enter in 2 boxes and you said there will be 10 sellable units per box, the number of units will automatically update to 20, as 20 units in total will be sent in. So let's move on to the next step, where we will be going into more detail regarding packing individual units. So if you've selected individual units, you will be now at step 1B, packing individual units of the send to Amazon process after clicking on Save and Continue on step 1 of the process. On the packing details pop-up, after clicking the pen icon, input all the required information. That would be the template name, the units per box, the box dimensions, and box weight. This is very much similar if you selected Create a Packing Template, where under Prep category, define if the items need prep and who will be required to do the prep. You will also be able to see the packing requirements of other product categories as well on this page if you plan on inbounding products that are potentially fragile or sharp. Under Who labels units, indicate if you require Amazon to do it for you. That will have a per unit fee attached if you opt to use it. So if you're using Amazon, it will charge you per unit fee. Or if you will do it yourself and then select Save. So you will choose either Amazon or yourself is going to do the labels. Under the section Information or Action, you will once more have the option to select Print SKU labels to download the labels that you will need to paste on the unit. Under the section Quantity to Send, input the number of units in this case that will be sent in, and then select Ready to Send. Also, just remember that this is where the number of sellable units in each shipping box will be defined that you will be sending to a fulfillment center. Also note, a sellable unit is the item that a customer will buy. For example, a pack of 10 pencils sold together is one sellable unit. Select Confirm and Continue at the bottom of the page to move on to step 2 of your workflow. Some things to note. Some units require specific prep and labeling to be received correctly at the fulfillment centers, for example, sharp objects. Before sending out shipments to Amazon fulfillment centers, it's super important to understand prep, packaging, and labeling requirements, as if done incorrectly, this can create issues with receiving and storing your FBA inventory in the fulfillment center, which will in turn affect the lead time to inventory stowage and thus your available inventory levels for your customers. We will cover some basic prep and labeling requirements later in this presentation. However, be sure to watch some of our prior webinar sessions as well when time permits that also covered the send to Amazon process and other topics as well. Okay, let's move on. So step 3 is where we will be printing those box labels. We're jumping over step 2 for this presentation. However, I would definitely recommend checking out our Seller University ZA YouTube channel that had one of the presentations focusing on all 6 steps of the send to Amazon process as a whole. So yes, in step 3, labels are generated for you to paste on your boxes. Sorry. Each box requires an FBA box ID label where a label will be generated for each box in the shipment. With that, on the right is an example of the kind of label that will be generated for you. Once you have selected your specific label via the Print Box Label section, select Proceed to enter tracking details. If you're shipping pallets and indicated in step 2 of the process that you would send less than and full truckload shipments, FBA box ID labels must be placed on the boxes before they're loaded on the pallet. With our box labels having been printed, let's move on to the specifics of shipment preparation. Before sending out shipments to Amazon fulfillment centers, it is important to understand the prep, packaging, and labeling requirements that comes with sending in stock, as if done incorrectly, this can create issues when receiving and stowing your FBA inventory into the fulfillment center. This will cause a snowball effect that will in turn affect lead time to your inventory stowage, which will therefore impact your inventory levels and your customers being able to order those products of yours. We are going to look into 3 aspects of shipment preparations: FBA unit preparation, label items, and then packing and labeling shipments. Okay, so let's move on to number 1, which is the FBA unit preparations. So your FBA unit preparation, you might ask, what is unit preparation? It is the act of ensuring your units are in a condition that is suitable for fulfillment and ready to be taken off the shelves when a customer order comes through. This can include acts such as wrapping, polybagging, sealing, baggage, and more. Preparation is extremely important as it will greatly decrease the chance of your units getting lost, late, or even damaged. Ensure that the units you sell are clean and hygienic. Lastly, it will enable you to have better control of your inventory and avoid higher operational cost. For example, if we have to prepare the products for you if not properly packaged. It is also important that the products reaches your customers in the same condition they were received at our fulfillment centers. As such, you would need to ensure that your units are prepared for all the steps that they will go through in the fulfillment process to avoid a less than ideal delivery experience or even delays to get your stock available to your customer. So when you get ready to prep your product for an FBA shipment, you can choose either prep them yourself or use the FBA prep services. If you do use the prep services, Amazon will prepare your eligible products for a per unit fee. I will be highlighting the reason for the word eligible shortly. With that, different items within selected categories will have their own preparation requirements, such as sharp items, for example, which we'll go over a bit more later as well. When you build your shipping plan, you provide an estimate of prep fees based on the expected services. The amount of prep is required. Before we move on to some basic unit preparation, I will quickly share a link to the help pages with the videos that show you these requirements. Check. Let me just share this link. Okay. Some basic on unit preparation. Some very important points to note. Make sure to apply a warning label regarding suffocation to any bags with openings larger than 12 centimeters. Ensure that bags are the right size for your products, where they are neither too big nor too small. Definitely don't force any products into bags that don't fit or allow items to stick out or puncture the baggage. Make sure to use bags that are clear unless the product requires opaque bagging, such as valuable or adult items. For items that are sharp, fragile, or made of materials like ceramic and glass, please ensure that they are fully bubble wrapped instead of simply polybagged, for example, to aid in your products being secured and padded and safe for handling. Lastly, whether you are bagging or wrapping the item, make sure to place the barcode labels on the outside of the bubble wrap to ensure they're easily accessible and able to be scanned. Okay, so let's move on to some examples of the prep needed for selected product types. Okay, so we will start with fragile glass products that will prep and what prep will be needed. The steps I will be mentioning is straight from our Send to Amazon workflow, where you will be able to see these steps yourself as you begin preparing your upcoming shipments. For the items that are glass or very fragile, that may or may not have liquid in it, you will need to ensure that your products are placed in bubble wrap or a bubble bag to prevent damage. Products can also be placed in a protective overbox. The product bag or box must be secured or taped. Your products need to be able to pass a drop test on a hard surface without breaking, and your barcode must be scannable. For sharp items, so the next image you're seeing on the slide is a good example of how sharp items should not be packaged, especially with us receiving and opening the shipment at our FC. For any sharp item with exposed edges that doesn't already have a protective covering on it, you would need to ensure that your product is placed in bubble wrap or bubble bag to keep it from being exposed. Products can also be placed in a protective overbox. Also ensure that the packaging is secured and that any sharp objects or edges are completely covered. And your barcode, again, must be scannable. Last, we have liquid items or non-glass items. Does your product contain a liquid, such as dishwashing liquid, without a double seal? More examples would be soap, spray bottles, lotions. If yes, you will need to ensure that your product is placed in a transparent poly bag to protect from leakage only for liquids without a double seal. Your product needs to have a suffocation warning on the bag if it has an opening of 12 centimeters. The bags must be secured if the bag is not self-adhesive. And again, your barcode must be completely scannable. As I mentioned a bit earlier in the slides, you will be able to see the packing requirements of other product categories as well via the prep category option using either the pop window of create new packing template or referring to the information or action column where you can see baby products, for example, from the drop down and see the prep requirements needed. Okay, so now let's have a look at labeling requirements that we need to follow. The labeling of units. Amazon uses scannable barcodes as product identifiers to streamline our ability to identify and track your products during the fulfillment process. Barcodes also help us. Barcodes also help us in identifying you as the seller of a specific unit of inventory, thus allowing us to give you credit for the sale of that unit as it enters and stored in our fulfillment center. It is a requirement that all the units of your inventory are sent into our FCs or fulfillment centers having barcodes attached to them. We will go through what this entails a little bit later in this presentation. So you would need to ensure that you label all your units of your inbounded inventory as it enhances the identification, tracking, and visibility of the location of the inventory while it passes through our processes. Also remember that Amazon does provide a unit labeling system or service that is charged at a per unit fee, should you choose to have Amazon to do it. However, it is very important to note, if you have a generic product though without a product barcode, you will need to do the labeling yourself. Amazon cannot provide prepping services if units do not have a product barcode, even if an exception has been granted. The reason for this is that we need some form of identifier in order to do the labeling and prep services, which we would then use the EAN or UPC for. However, without this identifier, we won't have a means of identifying that the inventory is yours as the selling partners, as it could be anyone's without a unique identifier, which is why we would have to ask of you to do the labeling yourself in this case. One second. Okay. So in South African marketplace, Amazon uses two types of barcodes as product identifiers. These are manufacturer barcodes and Amazon barcodes, what we refer to as FNSKU labels. You may be able to get an exemption to using the manufacturer barcode by enrolling into the Amazon brand registry and registering your ASIN in the program. This is a useful program to be part of, where I would recommend watching our webinar that goes into detail regarding brand registry and the features it offers. It's currently the most recent video on our Seller University South Africa YouTube channel that has been uploaded. Non-brand registered sellers are required to apply Amazon barcodes to ineligible products. This is without a manufacturer barcode, also known as UPC, EAN, or GTIN, and trademark. You won't be able to register your brand under brand registry. It's also imperative that Amazon barcodes, FNSKUs, labels, the labels you can print in step 1 of the send to Amazon process must be applied to products that meet the following conditions. The products aren't tracked via the manufacturer barcode. They don't have a scannable UPC, EAN, GAN, or ISBN. Media products, restricted or dangerous goods, or topical products like a baby or infant product. To some basic of labeling your products. So you might ask, how do I properly label my products? Perfect question. Let's cover those basic labeling requirements. Ensure the labels are clear, crisp, and properly placed on the right units to ensure efficient shipment. Each unit must have an easily accessible exterior scannable barcode or label. You will need correctly sized blank mailing labels and a laser printer. Ensure that the labels are at least 2.5 centimeters to 5 centimeters tall and 2.5 centimeters to 7 centimeters wide. The smallest label we support for individual products is 2.5 by 2.5 centimeters. Use black ink on non-reflective printing paper with adhesive back for ease of sticking onto the product. For best results, use a laser printer and print at 300 dpi, as this will ensure that the label is clear for scanning purposes. For large shipments, select all pages and generate a label file for each. Also ensure that when you print, labels include a scannable barcode, a number corresponding to the barcode such as an FNSKU, a product title, and a product condition stating new or used. The FNSKU labels you will be able to print will already have this information for you. Okay, some more label requirements. Amazon does not accept damaged or photocopied labels. When labeling, be sure to print the full set of labels. Each label is unique, so do not photocopy or reuse them. Place labels on a smooth surface of your product, avoiding any corners or edges or curves. If your product doesn't need extra packaging, cover any original barcodes like the UPCs, EANs, or ISBNs. The FNSKUs barcode should be placed on or over the product label so that Amazon can easily find the correct products and ensure that they're stored in the right places. If your products requires extra packaging such as bubble wrap or other protection, place your labels on the outside so that they are easily scannable and available for the fulfillment center. So packing and labeling your shipment boxes. Once you have provided the box content information for all the SKUs and you've confirmed the quantity of the individual units in step 1 of the send to Amazon process, determine which SKUs can be packed together based on 3 factors. Items that require special handling. An example is hazmat category items, which needs to meet certain requirements to ensure that they can be received safely. The weight and dimensions of your products. For example, oversized SKUs should not be packed with standard sized SKUs. You definitely won't want your smaller products to be squashed by heavier or larger items. Consider whether SKUs require additional preparation services. SKUs that are already prepped and labeled should not be mixed with SKUs that require prep or labeling to be performed by Amazon. This ensures items are directed to the correct processing line and also to ensure that they are not sidelined at the FC, Fulfillment Center. Okay, so let's go over some basic yet important things of note when labeling your shipment boxes. It is important to make sure that the indicated quantity of units in the boxes that you mentioned during the send to Amazon process for each SKU is equal to the expected quantity of SKUs in that box. All boxes must have shipment labels, and labels may not include any other messaging. All labels should be placed so they're easy to see, either on top or side of the box. If you reuse boxes from previous shipments and there are existing scannable barcodes on that outside of the shipping boxes, you'll need to either remove them or cover them or mark them so that they are not scannable at all. Also, never place labels on a box's seam where it can be damaged when the box is opened. The label would be torn open while when the box is open, so definitely do not place it on a section where it could be damaged potentially. Additionally, any tape used to seal the box shouldn't cover the labels either. Okay, time to send stock into our fulfillment centers. So now that you know how to prepare and ship your products to our fulfillment centers, it is time to become part of our FBA program if you are not already with us, of course, and get your units sent to our fulfillment center as soon as possible. This is an ideal time to get into the swing of things, get to know how the process works, get used to the process of sending items to Amazon so that by the time we launch, which we did, you are confident in the processes and already familiar with how our system works. Secondly, the biggest benefit to inbounding now is as we launched, you get to make sales immediately as your product will be available in our store for anyone waiting at the big gates when they view your products online. So with scales coming through, you'll be ahead of the pack with your listing. Your listings will gain more traction within Amazon's search results, which will further help with your visibility on Amazon and lead to greater potential of pulling in some customers. Let's move forward. How to start learning on Seller University. Before we move on to our Q&A session, I would like to quickly go through the how to start learning on Seller University. To get started, click on the computer to start the video if it didn't auto start. In this video, you can see how to find Seller University in Seller Central. Here we go. You can bookmark it for easy access as well for later. To find Seller University, you click on the hamburger menu in the top left corner of your Seller University page, then choose Learn, and then choose Seller University. There you can browse all our currently available learnings resources, included these recommended videos. We are on to questions and answers. Okay, so we do have a question. What do we need to do if we only send a small package instead of pallets? Referring to step 4, can we just skip it? 100% you can skip it if you have selected small parcel deliveries during your step 2 process of send to Amazon. Step 4 won't even appear. We have another question. Is there a minimum number of products we can send to Amazon? Not at all. No minimum required numbers of products at all. Way to test out which product sells better than others. You can send in single units of multiple different products if you wanted to see which products you need to focus on for future shipments. Okay, here's another question. Please advise on the label sizes for products as well as shipping again. How many are there on the label page if you have this information? So we're currently supporting 21 to 44 UP labels for product labels. We will also offer the option of custom size labels from 25 to 100 mm in terms of width and height. If we have our own transport vehicle, can we use it to bring the shipments to Amazon ourselves, or must we use a courier? You can deliver shipments yourself, but please ensure that you have requested an appointment to deliver, and this can be done on our Carrier Central portals. Off topic, but we are wondering how or if we even can list cooking oils and superfood supplements. Please let me know. Currently, consumables is not a category that can be added to the Amazon website for now. We do not have a time frame for when it will become available. However, we definitely will expand on the available categories within the near future. So we would communicate that as soon as more categories become available. Okay, the next question. The labels for the FBA shipments, will there be a template provided? Is this integrated into the Amazon system? It is 100% integrated into our Amazon system, where you'll be able to generate the custom sized labels or labels such as 44 UP labels for your product labels while following the send to Amazon process. Okay, can we drop off at FBA sites instead of courier drop off? Where are these sites? So you can drop off at an FBA site. However, you will need to register as a carrier on the Carrier Central website to book an appointment. The locations are based in Cape Town and Johannesburg, and you'll be provided with the location during the send to Amazon process, which has been covered in today's webinar on the label, of course. Do you have a preferred supplier to use for delivering stock from our warehouse to Amazon FBA warehouses? We have preferred couriers. We have TCG, which is the courier guy, and we have DPD Laser. But you are welcome to choose any other reliable carriers where you will need to have them registered. You will need to have them register an account on Carrier Central in order to deliver your shipments to a designated fulfillment center. Also, what's the recommended printing paper for the labels? You are able to use any label paper as long as it is not a glaring or reflective type of paper, and then it should be fine. Can any seller apply for FBA, or must you qualify first? Any seller can make use of FBA. There is no qualify for anything. You can start listing. You can immediately opt into FBA, where you can begin the inbounding process. Another question is, do I have a storage limit on my account for the amount of stock I send into Amazon's fulfillment center? You do have a storage limit. All our sellers have about 350 limit for standard size products and 50 units for oversized products. So the limit for storage limit is 350 for standard sized and 50 units for oversized products. Is there a minimum number of products we can send to Amazon? No, there's no minimum required number at all. You can send in a single unit of stock even if you wanted to. I mean, if you want to send in a single unit, that is fine. There's no minimum requirements. I received an error advising that my product is too big for fulfillment into Amazon. Is there a size restriction? 100% there is a size restriction. All standard products are less than 12 kgs and less than or equal to 45 by 34 by 26 centimeters. For oversized products, our maximum supported dimensions are 101 times 6 by 55 by 40, and that is less than 22 kgs. Okay, what type of labeling papers do we need for our shipments? Okay, same thing, non-glaring, non-reflective paper so that it's easily scannable at the FC. We normally do not know how many boxes will be needed before boxes are packed. Okay, so normally we do not know how many boxes will be needed before boxes are packed. So during the send to Amazon process, you will need to indicate the amount of units that will be sent per box where, for example, you'll be able to fit 100 units of your specific item in a single box. You will be able to indicate this, where your next step will be ensuring that the indicated quantity of items are in fact within that box when we receive it at the designated fulfillment center. Okay, storage fees question. Do we get charged for storage fees if we have fast moving selling products? Our monthly storage fees are charged at 36 Rand per cubic meter of volume per month. However, you are only charged for the time your inventory is used within the FC fulfillment center. For example, if your inventory is only in the fulfillment center for a period of 7 days out of the monthly time period, then you'll be able to charge. Then you will be only charged for a fraction of that monthly cost. Will we be allowed to deliver to Cape Town and Joburg? Okay, so the fulfillment centers to where you need to send your products to will be seen during the send to Amazon process. It will also be added to the label that is printed, so you would know where it is going to. Please clarify the unit label. We can use 40 by 30 thermal print size for each unit. You can most definitely use 40 by 30 is perfect. Also, if you want to go smaller than that, the smallest label size in terms of width and height we support is 25 by 25. Does each unit need to have a label? We have over 100 SKUs that each come in a box of 4. We simply do not have the manpower to label each individual unit. Okay, so a sellable unit is the item that a customer will buy. For example, a pack of 10 pens is sold together is one sellable unit. And in your case, a box of 4 is a sellable unit. Each sellable unit requires a label. So you will have one label on each unit SKU. Also, just note that Amazon can assist you to label your units if you do not have the capacity, but this will be charged per unit, per item. That is all for today. Now that we've covered FBA sent to Amazon workflow and what comes with proper shipment preparation, we are done. Thanks you so much for tuning in and happy selling in the Amazon store. Keep well and have a lovely evening ahead. Bye.